Good morning, everybody. I'm Belinda with Just Be Yoga, and we're here for our home yoga practice live Friday morning. How's everybody doing? I am going to just adjust something because I'm realizing my camera is in the same position that it was for last night's class, and for different platforms, I have to do different things with the camera. You don't need to know all of that, Giles, but I'm just making you all aware. So, yay. Good morning. Welcome to our developing a personal yoga practice journey that we've been doing since, I guess, late March here on our Facebook Live and our YouTube Live. I really appreciate all of you kind of following along as we stumble and grow and I figure things out and try my best to be able to share yoga as I practice it and as I find benefit from it with you. This morning is our fundamental or basic day. So doesn't mean that some things may not be difficult or challenging. It just means that we're going to approach things from the most basic and rudimentary way. Now, if you've been following along and developing your home yoga practice, maybe take a glance at your practice plan. What are you practicing this week? One of the thematics of this week was saucha, or purity or elimination. So maybe think about, how did you approach coming to your mat today? How did you cleanse the body? What did you put in it? What did you not put in it? How is your body feeling and your mind and your spirit feeling this week after bringing that much attention to saucha? All righty, we're going to start with a seated space and we'll do a breath exercise and then we'll come into some asana. Please feel free to comment and let me know that you're here. If you have any questions, and if you want to know more about this practice plan kind of stuff, go to justbeyoga.com and check out our blog. We are on week 4. So if you're looking at, how do I put together a practice plan? Been trying to start to put those elements together for something for you to follow along. All right. So let's make our way to a comfortable way of sitting. I like to sit cross-legged. My body is happy with it. If that doesn't work for you, maybe sit on a big pillow, maybe a chair. Your legs could be out in front of you. Remember, today is about keeping things down to the basics and the fundamentals. So if we can't get the fundamentals right, we certainly can't go into any kind of crazy advanced stuff. I hate that word. More complex or intricate. How's that for a word? All right. So I'm going to clear out my fleshy bits so that I can feel my sitting bones rooting down, lifting in the chest. Don't suck in the tummy. Chin is level. I'm going to turn sideways because a sideways profile might give you a better sense. Because if I tilt the chin up here, I'm bending the neck. So I'm trying to create length here. I'm going to go back to my cross-legged space. Feeling myself, intending my chest to lift up. Maybe close the eyes, maybe keep them open. Remember that we brought purity and cleansing into our mindset about our senses. So just be aware of where you are in sight, hearing, touch, taste, smell. Eliminating thoughts we don't need right now, or at least bringing awareness to them. Observe our intention for being on our mat in our practice. Now let's see if we can relax the belly and let the belly expand out for an abdominal breath. Belly poofs out so that the abdomen fills with the air, and then exhale, let the abdomen relax. A few breaths, observing how we feel. Maybe bring attention to your organs being moved with the breath. Did we lose our awareness of sitting up tall in the chest? Let's open the jaw wide. Maybe protrude the tongue out. Jaw side to side. Good. We'll take the tongue and trace the upper gum line and lower gum line just side to side. Around in a circle. Observe that salivation being stimulated. Change direction. Close the eyes tight. Observe your breath. Open the eyes wide. Good. And then relax the gaze or close the eyes, but be mindful and make a choice about where you are and what you're practicing. A few neck rotations. Chin down. Starting to make our way around. Chest is still lifting. Breath intentional. Changing direction. And back to center. I ended up, just as a bit of a share, I ended up not drinking as much caffeine as I had been the prior weeks for this week. It was unintentional, but I decided, oh, hey, look, it ends up being salcha. And I'm noticing that the salivation is a little more sweet, or either I'm more aware of the salivation or a little more sweet by that elimination, by finding that salcha practice, and it amplified my sense of awareness of the taste of my saliva. All right. Let's bow and flex the chest. Oh, wake up the back. Lifting. Involve the neck and throat here. Maybe work the jaw here. Remember that yoga means to create a connection. So we're awakening our connection to these different areas of our body. And bow and flex. Wide open throat. Sometimes we constrict the throat when we're asking it to move. If we can keep it open, you might notice a cough because we're moving things around. Change the cross of your legs if your legs are crossed. If your legs are straight, cool. Maybe change the width of your legs if your legs are straight. I'm going to clear some fleshy bits again, being aware of how I'm standing in the flesh I'm in. And a gentle twist. Now, root down, push the buttocks down, lift the chest up, and can you feel both actions going on at the same time? Perhaps keep the gaze forward so that we're only involving the middle of the torso. Now, abdomen is breathing, so we're moving the organs in the twist, kind of sloughing, agitating, moving those tissues, and gently release and come around to the other side. Root through the sit bones and grow tall. I think sometimes when we're doing a twist or different other actions, we forget the dual action of rooting and lifting. That's pretty much always there. Where are you feeling lift and growth in the body physically? Where are you feeling the intention of pressing down? How do you notice them working together? Dual action. And release. Good. I'm going to bring my right hand up, pat myself on the back. Left hand finding that elbow. Twist first, feel the shoulder joint. Make sure you're not forcing anything. And again, that dual action. Two directions of energy. If anything, it just builds awareness of our countenance. Back to center, noticing how we hold ourselves up. And I'm going to switch. Left hand patting myself on the back, finding that elbow. Noticing and feeling what I'm feeling alongside the underside of that arm. Sitting up through the front of the chest, rooting down through the back of the spine. Dual action. Feel sitting and the complexity in sitting. And then let's twist. Breath in, breath out. Make room for the breath. Let the breath navigate with the dual action. Notice if any of the actions want to fight or compete with the other. Is the dual action of lifting and rooting getting in the way of breath? Is the breath getting in the way of the dual action? Is your comprehension of those words fighting against any of that? Back to center and release. Gentle shoulder rotation. Sometimes if I'm doing a practice, I just work the body part from the top all the way down. That way then I don't have a plan necessarily, but as I arrive to the shoulders, I just really literally let my shoulders tell me what they wanted to do right here. So it's like, we're going to lubricate. Changing direction, feeling the range. You can let a flourish go on. Notice where you're being rigid, where you're just doing this. What's going to prevent this? What is expression? What is range of movement and connection? What do you need to connect with? Maybe the movement physiologically needed to connect with an emotional expression, a creative expression. Maybe it didn't. And let's lengthen upward, shoulders down, breath in. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Can we wake up the hands? Feel the muscles in the middle of your palms. Can you lengthen from the thumb? Can you lengthen from the pinky? How about the middle finger? Could you grow it longer? Because I was like, well, does my brain do that? I don't know. And we'll bring that right arm down. Gentle side bend. Now, where are you feeling rooting? Where are you feeling lifting? Let the tummy breathe. Feel your organs, being aware of stimulating and activating the function and elimination in these organs. Maybe eliminate a negative thought. What's lengthening in your chest? What's rooting in the hips? Notice the energy that you use to bring your body up. Is it smooth and even, or did you force? Did you propel yourselves? Let's forgive whatever we see. Don't get prideful about anything we see. We're just noticing, and we'll find the other side. Thank this body for its range of movement. Whatever it's willing to give us. Soften your neck. What does acceptance feel like in the fiber of your flesh? Your body accepting this shape, accepting the range that's accessible, our minds accepting this moment. And say, stay here. Don't think about an hour from now. Don't think about a week from now. Come on, mind, stay right here. And then observe your energy and your will and your mind working together to bring your torso back upright, rooting and lifting. What's lifting? How much energy are you putting into it? Does your lift equate strain? Rooting down. What muscles are pressing to root the bottom body to anchor down? Is there strain? And bring those arms down. All right, we're going to make our way to hands and knees. All right, so sitting, feeling the lift of the upper body, the rooting of the bottom body. We're pretty much going to find root and lift in most of our positions, but just more or less giving us that as a framework. Again, also spine neutral. Start to be aware of what we're doing with the neck. All right, we'll come to hands and knees. If you have some knee issues, maybe get a blanket or a couple of blankets and put it down for under your knees for a little bit of cushioning. If you cannot stand to be on the knees at all, you could rest right here with us. and do some of the movements that we're about to do, okay? So we'll bring our hands down beneath our shoulders, knees down underneath of our hips. Now, I've got the benefit of being able to see a camera right here in front of me, but here I'm going to demonstrate those knees are way too far back. Here, my knees are way far forward. Okay, so I'm trying to have my knees under my butt. A little bit of space in between inner thighs. Try not to have the inner thighs together. So we're going to do that cat and cow, pulling the chest up and rounding the spine. Maybe just start by allowing it to be a nice, easy movement, and we just feel sensation. And then eventually, maybe ask yourself, every muscle in the front of me, front of my chest, front of my abdomen, what are they doing? How do they lengthen and contribute to lengthening? How do they contract and contribute to lengthening my back? Just bring your awareness into your chest muscles, your pectoralis. They've got to open to allow the chest to bow and flex. They've got to contract to push the back up toward the ceiling. What are the muscles in my neck doing? Can I feel them lifting or do they crunch? Remember, we're still always going to have a lift and a root, a lengthening, not a smushing. So how do we pull vertebra away from vertebra? And then we give ourselves a healthy dose of acceptance and let go of trying so hard. Good morning, Elizabeth. Awesome. Now, maybe just shift left and right. Now, if you're up on your feet, you can shift your weight from the left leg to the right leg. If you're on hands and knees, and if the wrists are getting sensitive, you could make a fist and rest on your knuckles. That'll take some of the compression out, but just feel weight distribution in the arms and the legs. What side is doing what? Now, if you're still on hands and knees, feel your waist, your belly, your sides. What are they doing? Could you tighten them a little bit? Remember our Mula Bandha. We practiced this a little bit this week. Squeeze the sphincter muscles. And notice what you feel in your abdomen, on your insides. All right, we're going to make our way up to standing and join anybody who might be standing who couldn't have been up on these knees. So we're going to step that foot up. And I just want us to pay attention to how we step it up, placing it. Notice you're not hearing a sound that I'm making here. I'm placing that foot with intention. Now, be nice to yourself if you hear this, all right? Because that just means that, okay, in this zone, it's just not holding this leg. Instead, we're kind of letting whoosh, momentum and gravity take that leg. But you'll get to learn, do I know how to control that? Do I have enough strength and stability to control that? We'll bring our hands to the floor, a block, maybe a table or a chair here to give you some stability. And we'll step this other leg back. Same deal. Did that other leg go ka-thunk? Now, I'm going to have my feet a little wide, and I'm just going to let the upper body hang. So this is the first time we've arrived on our feet. If we're joining the others who may have been up on their feet. Again, where is the weight distribution in the feet? Maybe shift forward and back. Spread your toes. Wake up your awareness of your feet. The toes, the knuckles in the toes, the long bones in the feet, the ankle bones, the flesh, your arches. What are they doing? Your heels. Sometimes I roll onto the pinky edge and then try to roll inside of the arches just a little bit and feel, what am I feeling up in my calves, my knees, my hips? Whew. And then gradually we'll roll the spine upright. We've experienced so much in our bodies already this morning. Feeling sitting, feeling engagement to hold our torso, having some twisting, waking up our jaw, our eyes, our hands, our arms, awareness of our organs. What a way to arrive in our day, kind of feeling our physical selves. Now we're in our standing. I'm going to come a little bit closer. See your feet. Choose your width of your legs. And that's really going to depend, your comfort zone, it's going to depend on your hips as well as the size of your thighs, all right? Because if my thighs were a little bit bigger, that might be about as close as my legs really would want to come, okay? So let's not all try to force ourselves to be here if our bodies don't want it to go there. All right, so find a comfortable distance. Look at your feet. Try not to have them angled outward, however. What's even? Spread the toes, wake up the feet to hold us. I'm going to turn sideways again. I'm going to bend the knees a little bit, just a little, so as we're not locking backwards. Stand up in the chest. Now I'm deliberately curving my low back here, so I'm going to scoop my tailbone under here. Take some of that pressure out of my spine, out of my low back. But I'm not here, I'm going to overdo it. So when I overdo it, I'm going to thrust the hips forward, right? I don't want to be like that. So I want to find what's an even space for my pelvic bowl standing over my legs. Ask my core to hold me up a little. Chin is level. Now remember what I said in the beginning. What's rooting and what's lifting? Because we need equal and opposing action to stand up against gravity, right? To stand up against gravity and to grow. Almost defiance of gravity growing. Trees are always showing us this lesson. They are rooting down and lifting up equally. They're seeking the sun and the core of the earth equally. Can we feel that? And not be forcing. So don't over squeeze in the thighs. Notice if your toes are bunching up. Free up the abdomen to breathe. Are you still growing tall through the back of your neck? Can you feel it? How do you know? Relax the eyelids, maybe close the eyes, taking away visual sensory stimuli. Saucha, purity, elimination, something we're practicing this week. Notice your knees, are they tightening? Are you in the left leg more than the right? Are you tight in your nasal passageways, or are we freely breathing? What is your jaw, your tongue, the back of your throat doing? Now squeeze that mula bandha. Feel that sphincter hold, or a Kegel if you need to relate to it that way. And what are you feeling subtly in your abdomen, in your pelvis? And release it. Notice, and then do it again. And as you're doing it, are there other areas of the body that start to tighten? Do they have to? Feel that solid core line of strength that we're starting to motivate and activate in the middle of us. All right, this is standing, mountain. Remember that time element in our yoga plan? Maybe practice now and again. 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And what will we learn about how we carry ourselves in our feet, in our thighs, what's overstraining? We'll certainly start to observe some things that are going on in our minds. Yoga, yoke, connect. All right, we're not doing a 5-minute mountain today. I'm going to root, lift, breath in. Now shoulders are down so that the torso is still rooting down. Front of the chest is what's lifting up. Chin is still level. Find that bandha. Notice how it helps you root into the earth. Breath in, believe you can grow taller from your waist. And exhale, hinge at the hips. And we'll find this forward fold. So still the bottom body is pressing down. Upper body, however, gets to release now. Top of the head rooting toward the earth. Now you might want to bend those knees a little. Now we all tend, right here I'm exaggerating it, but we all tend to be way back in these heels. Notice my butt is angling that way. So I'm going to shift forward and bring the weight evenly over my legs. Soften the abdomen. You could have a block here if your hands don't easily touch the floor. Bottom body active, so squeeze the legs. Ask your legs, hold me. Don't just do nothing, hold me. Upper body, letting it go. So now upper body's got to trust that bottom body's got it going on. 2 actions. Good, and let's roll our way back up to standing. Feel your legs supporting you. Upper body. Woo. Okay, so rudimentary. We've done standing, we've done some sitting, we've done some kneeling. We're going to stay standing before we come back down. And let's feel standing. You may want to have your hand at a wall for support. Feel your legs. Ask this left leg to support you. Pressing down, pressing. Now, press with the right. And just feel like, I'm just standing in that. And you know that that left foot is barely on the floor. Left again. Still growing tall. Take that pressure out of that bottom body by lifting the upper body off of it. And right. No strain. Where's the breath? Now we're going to press into the left and ask the right to lift. It could just hover over the earth. Breathe. What's the left foot doing? What's the left leg doing? Forget about that right leg. It's along for the ride. Is the rest of you still growing tall? Breath. Let's bring that leg down. Root down. We'll ask the left to lift. Breath. And it's cool if you can lift that left knee higher. Cool. Awesome. Nobody gets any kind of cookie for it or anything. What we're feeling is rooting and standing on less surface. Instead of 2 feet, we got 1. Breath. What's the core doing to lift this knee? We'll bring this down. Root. Lift. Remember, you could be holding on to something. And let's reach that heel out. Now, maybe that leg is down here. Maybe that leg is coming up a little higher. Can we still grow tall in the upper body? What is going on? Breath. Shoulders soft. And bring that right leg down. Root into the right. Keep your focus right here. And we'll lift that left knee. Thank that right leg. Right leg. You are awesome. Even if we're wobbling. Oh, human body, you are awesome. And we're going to reach that heel out. Oh, lift, breath. Don't compete, accept. Practice and let it go. Practice and let it go. And bring that down. We're going to lift once again, shoulders down. Where are we lifting from? Be here. Let go of that one-legged stuff. That's gone. We're right here now. Stand. Enjoy both legs. Forward fold. Oh. And we'll gradually roll the spine up. All right. I'm going to work on a tree, Vrikshasana. Once again, you can have your hands giving you support on a wall, a chair, something without casters. And I forgot when we were doing this, that's Uttira Parangustasana, extended leg posture, okay, in case you care. But we've got Vrikshasana is going to be tree. So remember, the root of all standings are going to be that mountain. So we're going to bring our attention into that mountain. How are we rooting? How are we lifting? Where's that pelvic bowl? Okay, do we have a tendency to want to stick it out? And what is that not affording our abdomen, boom, to help us with? All right, we're going to root into that left leg and just spin onto the left toes, bringing the sole of the left foot up against, of the right foot up against the left ankle. Now, I'm going to exaggerate this a little bit, but it's also really true. Here's what a lot of us tend to do. In order to compensate, we kind of sag the weight over so that we've got kind of an angle and the flesh around the bones is just kind of sagging. Let's see, can we stay here and stand? Find the mountain. Where is the mountain in the pose? Chin is level, back of the neck is lifting, upper body is growing tall, bottom body is rooting, dual action. And we've added in a hip opener. Now notice, I can't see any of you all at home, but notice, did you already rush to come up here and say, I don't want no baby tree? But what are we not affording ourselves to learn on the fundamentals, all right? So feel that left foot. How is the calf muscle of the left leg helping you? How are you squeezing and sustaining and containing in that left thigh? What could you learn? Squeezing and releasing, squeezing and releasing. How much of the hip can open here? Because this is a mountain with a hip opener. Then if you have stability, perhaps, and seeing about this hip staying that open, come up to the calf, below the knee. Now we've got to navigate really pressing that foot against the calf against the foot, and not doing that saggy thing over here in the hip. Can we stand? Can we conduct that energy up with ease and forgiveness, right? Maybe some of us are swaying, maybe not even swaying, right? Maybe it's kind of whoop, 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 whoop. And can we laugh? Can we enjoy? Open this hip, breath. Where's the calm inside of this? Even if it's in our mind, and that's so valid. And bring that leg down if you need, and you might. Shake that foot out. Woo. All right. So we'll find our mountain again. Bring that intention into I'm standing, I'm rooting, I'm lifting before we go anywhere. Oftentimes we're in a rush to get into various postures, and we wonder why we can't find stability, and we start to believe what we tell ourselves. I don't have balance. And that's not necessarily true. We don't have attention. But it's not that we don't have balance. We don't have attention. We don't have observation. We don't have focus. And then we've got to practice that intention of the rooting, of the lifting, and the patience, right? We got to practice focus, attention, and patience. Opening that hip. And we got to learn. There's so much humility into learning. Like, oh, but I've been in this body. You know, for me, I could say, oh, yeah, I've been in this body for 5 decades. What am I got to learn? I got a thigh. Oh, but what do I really know about that thigh? What do I really know about that hip? Ooh, growing tall. Ooh, I swayed a little bit here. And I'm not thinking about perfecting. So start to notice right now if your mind is like, oh, I got to do this baby stuff so that I can perfect my tree later. Meh, there's no perfect. There's only this moment as the earth is spinning on its axis. And just be grateful. Hey, my legs are standing me up today. My organs are eliminating today. These are good things. Maybe bringing that foot up to the calf. You don't have to. Now, if you are a person who's like, I got this. I'm not trying to say don't come up to this hip. All I am saying, however, is did we give ourselves the attention and the working to keep the hips forward, feeling this hip opening, standing supported in this side hip, growing before we aspire to come up here? Because in some ways, this is a little easier because we apply that pressure, that's added stability onto the inside of that thigh. It's kind of a cheater because the thigh gets to push against the foot gets to push against the thigh. It's kind of like lean on me when you're not strong. And we'll lift and grow. Maybe hands could be here, hands could be reaching out. Maybe you got a family member you can reach out to who will hold you up. Where's your breath? Feel your eyes. Feel your skin. Thank that right foot. And we'll bring that leg down. Maybe shake that foot out. Woo! All right. If you start to notice that standing postures, that your feet and your ankles are really stressing out, we're probably over rooting, need to build some of the muscles in the feet as well as in the calves and the ankles. And we could talk about some of that a little bit later in some of the seated postures. All right. Find your mountain and we'll breathe in. Lift that upper body and take it forward. Where's your weight in your feet? Are you all the way back in your heels? When we came forward, did you tune out your practice and just kind of go, Oh, yeah. Or are you still practicing? Where are you in space and time in your body, your breath, and your mind? I'm going to roll the spine up, noticing how I get there. Feel that back. Ooh, upper back and neck. I felt that more than in my lower back coming up. I'm going to bring my feet a little bit wide. All right. And again, maybe make that a part of your practice of how did I get there? Did I move mindfully? Did I stomp about? How are you moving? What's rooting and lifting? What muscles were engaging to get you there? I like to wake up my hips a little bit here. Try not to lock those knees. Again, awareness of where we are in space and time, not overtaxing any joint. Squeeze the thighs, let them go. Don't lock the knees. Squeeze the thighs, let them go. Push into the baby toe edges of those ankles. Maybe roll onto the baby toe edges. Ooh, feel the flesh kind of stretching on the sides of those ankles. And then feet down, push down through the big toe joint. Activate your arches. Maybe look at your arches and say, are they answering me? Can I lift them? Good. Hands can come to your hips, maybe to your low back for a little support. Bend the knees a bit. Send the hips forward. Now, tie an imaginary rope to the chest and pull up. Remember what I said, rooting down and lifting up. Feel your legs pushing down. Pull the breastbone to the sky. And breathe in the middle. Soften your low back. So spacious, so vulnerable, so revealing. And let the upper body come forward. Oop, there was my hip. I'm going to let my arms go. Maybe use a block or a strap here. Same deal. Squeeze the thighs, upper body releasing. Let the weight of the upper body sag. Feel this inversion, your head beneath your heart. Head close to the ground. Grounded in faith and belief and trust. Squeeze the thighs, let them go. Try to squeeze the Mula Bandha and let it go. Observe. What do you need in containment? Does your body want to do the containment? Let's walk it over to the right leg and give it a little hug. Notice if you're putting pressure on yourself for a look or a way of being. Can you just accept and then find something to enjoy here? Soften the back of that hamstring. Soften the back of the neck. Do we even know how to notice where strain is? And we'll make our way over to the other side. No rush. Feel the backs of your legs. Feel your hips. Feel your torso. Feel your trust. Are your eyes open or closed? We'll bring the hands back down out in front of us. Maybe put a block down. I've got my legs still wide. I'm going to lean forward and back. Feel that trust kind of coming forward into a bit of a push-up with those legs straight. Feel those arms. Squeeze the muscles in your upper arms like squeezing your thighs. These are our new arm legs. Lengthen the top of the head toward the screen. Easy breath. Relax your belly. Feel your organs sagging inside of your skin. And then tighten the torso, containing your organs. Relax it and contain it. We'll come forward, bring that right hand down. Now twist your chest. Now start to notice, what did you do with your left arm? Did you swing it open? Did you turn your neck? So stand in that right arm and twist the chest, the whole chest cavity. You could bring that left hand behind your back. Can you isolate? Take this as a moment of observation and say, wow, my mind ran ahead of what we were doing. My mind was in a space of expectation or anticipation. Can I just isolate? Is this good enough? Do I feel like I need to be doing more? Why? Feel the sturdiness of that right arm. Ask it to be sturdy. Say, I need a third leg. Those legs don't have to do all of that work. And then we'll switch it out. Bringing that left hand down, stand in it. Stand, feel the upper arm. Is it doing anything or is it only the wrist? Does it have to be that way? Let your mind kind of send a signal and say, hey, can you be doing something? Because my wrist is kind of mad. We'll twist the chest open. I like to keep my gaze down and just twist from the rib cage, opening the pecs, the chest, letting the tummy breathe. We'll worry about the hips later. So much to work on. Squeeze the thighs. Where are we in our feet? If the feet are starting to ache, could you distribute weight differently in your feet? Breath. Never sacrifice breath for pose. And we'll bring the hands down. Let that upper body sag. And we'll bring the knees down and come to sitting. When you come to sitting, find again, I've got to hold my chest up. This core or corridor is what's holding us up. Otherwise, most of the time, we just let the bones and the flesh sag around the bones and just let gravity have its way with us. And we can say, oh man, I have something here. Oh, it can hold me. Not with any strain. Find a way of sitting that's comfortable for your legs. And observe. Observe your body's reaction so far to everything we've done, everything we've stimulated, everything we've moved. Notice your breath and your awareness of your breath and the ease you carry in your breath. Even if it's not much, it's okay if your answer to any of those is meh. We're observing. And where's your mind? Where's your mind right now? Where has it been over the last half hour or so? And observe, oh wow, I can actually apply my attention, apply my observation. And I'm working on practicing holding it right on that thing, holding it right on that thing. Whoops, I lost it. Bring it back to this thing. Okay, so now we're gonna do some hip work. We can bring the feet together and let the knees fall open. Notice again how we got there. Okay, so when you saw where I was going, did you already start yanking on those feet and pulling this in and all of that? It's okay if that happened, but let's learn from it and go, oh, I started yanking on my body. How purposeful am I? How deliberate am I in how I treat my body? First yama, ahimsa, non-harming. All right, so can we maybe just straighten the legs? And then feel that out. I'm going to sit up, right? Upper body lifting, bottom body rooting. Feel my core engage. Now I'm going to bring this foot in, and I'm going to bring this foot in. Now, maybe it looked a little bit like that. And you're like, man, they don't come very close. Okay, give it another shot. Inch it, right? And then we got to go, oh, look, my core, my belly has to do something. And then maybe the hips go, yo, stop. You'd be like, okay, can I accept that that's where I am? Okay, so we're not overstraining the hips and the knees, feeling the groin. We're kind of having a consensual relationship with our physical body. Maybe clear some fleshy bits so that you can let your bones sit down. Good. Now upper body lifts, bottom body roots, and ask those inner thighs to press open on their own. What are we feeling? Are the shoulders creeping up? Do they have to? Could we lift the chest? And then let that upper body lengthen forward. Don't dump around. Lengthen. And this might be where it stops. I'm going to turn sideways. So when I say lengthen forward, pull the belly button as though there's a rope going that way, not caving and rounding. So that's why I said this might be where it stops. What are we feeling in the hips? What are we feeling in the groin, the abdomen, the genitalia? Maybe play with some of the Mula Bandha. Build that awareness, build that strength. Strong muscles down there. And if we only use them, pardon, but this is all some reality stuff here. If we only use those muscles to push out, how will we ever develop the retaining power of those muscles? And if you need to use the incentive of as we age, maybe we don't want to have to wear a pair of Depends, use that then. But that hold, feel that hold of that sphincter squeezing. How long can you sustain that hold? Or do you hold and it goes, okay, I'm done. Holding, okay, I'm done. And then let's say, okay, let's see if I can hold it for 2 breaths. Do I lose it? Oh, did I lose it? And it's okay. We say, okay, I got 1.5 breaths. Woohoo, I practiced something today. Holding our guts in. And roll the spine up. So when I say fundamentals, there's some depth to fundamentals, not depth to fundamentals. Didn't mean that. All right, feel those hips, feel the back. Because our waist is uninhibited, we don't have any flesh up against it, we can have a free range of twist here. So if we are of bigger size, our torso is bigger, or we have a big tummy, finding twists with the knees open like this gives us the best range of movement in the low back to actually twist the spine, instead of running into flesh compressing against flesh. Where's the lift? You feel that out. Explore a new area. Can I lift from there? Where's the root? Where's your breath? And let's release. Something bit me. And other side. Chest lift. Shoulders down. I think I was in the chakra class on Sunday where I referred to, there's a book, some of you may have read it. It's called Autobiography of a Yogi. I just thought of it because I got bit by a mosquito. And there's a chapter in the book that I really love where the yogi is being taught by his guru. And one of the lessons was for him to go to bed that night without a mosquito net. And I guess, living with a mosquito net is natural in India. And he was supposed to just work on his focus and meditation by not being distracted by the mosquitoes biting him. So clearly I have lost on that, and I have a lot to practice because the minute it bit me, my attention went to it and I got out of teaching. So I've got a lot to learn. All right, we're going to lengthen the legs out. Good. Getting practiced at, how did I lengthen my legs out? We'll do the same thing when we come to reclining. All right, clear out your fleshy bits. Your legs could be closer together, maybe farther apart. The farther apart, the more forgiving on the hamstrings, depending on what's going on with your hamstrings. Flex the toes to your face. Let's point and flex. All right, so I said about compression. Ooh, he bit me good. Let's free up that space. Visualize the bones in your ankles and in your feet. Even as you're sitting here and enjoying your feet right now, what happened to your spine? Did we lose that engagement? Did we lose that intention of sitting up? Just feel that engagement in that core. It doesn't have to be a super grip. Just feel yourself holding, intending. How about ankle rotations? One of the things that I really start to notice, especially if I drive a lot, and in the days that I was still in an office environment, is that I will hold a rigid space in the ankles, in the buttocks, and in my breath throughout the day, not even knowing that I'm doing it. And so by building that awareness, building those muscles in our mind, change directions of your ankles, you can start to Notice when you're bunching that up and then free this up. Okay, so a lot of that compression is just due to us staying in a white knuckle in different areas of our body, unaware, repetitively, day after day after day. So 1/2 hour yoga session once a week, that ain't gonna do nothing. If we're not applying ourselves to practicing the mind, practicing the breath, being in our body with compassion and intention, it's barely a band-aid. All right, so we'll flex the toes, push the legs down, lift the chest, feel ourselves sitting with intention. This is Dandasana. And I'm just going to ask us to hold this for a little while. Flexing the toes, be in these straight, strong legs, pushing down, upper body lifting. Mula Bandha engaged. Breath intentional. Mind right here, if not quiet. Reapply if you need, legs down, chest up. Healthy dose of forgiveness. We're just practicing, not perfecting, not even progressing. Mula Bandha, did we let it go? Is there tension in your hands, your fingers, your jaw? Feel the muscles along your spinal column lifting you up. What are we learning about ourselves right here holding this? About patience, about kindness, about tolerance, about stick-to-itiveness. And let's take it forward. Go ahead and round your spine, but see if you can keep the legs straight, flexing the toes. Feel the backs of those calves. Spread your toes. Open your feet. Let spaciousness come in the fibers of those really condensed, packed muscles in those feet. Do you know what your feet endure? Slowly bringing us up. Literally carrying the weight of us. And with that in mind, I'm going to find a comfortable seated space. I don't know that we're going to have time to get to any reclinings today, but I'm going to stay with these feet for a moment. I used to have a gentleman, a yogi Naran, who used to come to the yoga studio, and he would teach. And he used to have an ashram. So, he's a deep dude. But he always started his practice with this, and we would thread the fingers in between each toe. Hello, toes. So fingers, thread in between each toe, and then let's flex the ankle back. So stretch and pull it down. Stretch. Back and forth. Cooperate and collaborate. Don't force, but let's feel the range. Breath. Sit up in your chest. Carry yourselves. And ankle rotations. Range. Lubricate. Forgive. Apologize. Change direction. These are really strong and powerful and small muscles in our feet. Let's give them the gift of our attention. And that attention right now is one that's saying soften, loosen up. You don't have to grip. You don't have to tighten or tense right now. You don't have to be ready to spring. You don't have to be ready to have a reflex. You don't have to be ready to carry a load. You don't have to be ready for a slam, a jump, a stomp. Oh, how valuable is that for us to bring that intention. Now, I took the fingers out and massage in between each of the long bones in the foot. Can you feel the space in between the long bones in the foot? Can we give that some attention, maybe going up and down a little bit? What's your foot saying? Is it more sensitive on the top? Is it more sensitive down in the center, on the sole of the foot? Coming down into the arch area. Can you get into those spaces? Can you massage it? Can you feel it? What is it telling you? I like to massage the ankle and the heel. Oh, the heel. Oh, we do not give our heel nearly enough credit for all of the striking and stomping and banging that we do on it. Now let's wake it up. Ah, low foot. Thank you. Other foot. Notice how I changed the leg. Or did we yank our leg up? I'm not mad if that's where the leg ended up and you need to give it some help, go ahead. And you don't have to be cross-legged. You could have that. I mean, you don't have to bring it up onto the thigh. It could be right here. Whatever is accessible for you. My left foot is always famous for not letting my fingers in between the toes. Either my fingers are fatter or my toes are fatter on this side. And that's okay. I'm not fat shaming my toes. I just know that I always have a little bit more of an issue on this side. Whew, hold, and then do your point and flex of the toes of the foot. Can you let the hand do the work and ask the foot to not have to do so much? Let it kind of be cared for instead of having to be so in charge. How could awareness of breath help you find some ease into this root area so that we can free our roots a little bit? What are we purifying in between those toes right here? Detoxifying, letting some of that tension out. Eliminate ankle rotation. Woo! I did just sit up. I realized, oh yeah, I got a little slouchy myself and change direction. And we'll eventually pull the fingers out. You don't have to do it right now if you're having a good old time where you are. We'll massage. Feel out. How does the left foot carry us on our journey? What's stuck? What are the tendencies that we're feeling in some of the fibers of this foot? Ooh, what are the tender spots? What are the tight spots? What are the tired spots? How do we honor the tired spots that we find inside of us? Or do we just push ourselves more? When do we start to recognize that rest is power? It is a valid part of energy. It isn't nothing. Right? And when do we value nothing as a valid power? All right, I'm going to wake up this foot. Good. All right, I'm going to come up to sitting. Remember I said I think we were running out of time for reclinings today. I'm Belinda with Just Be Yoga, and this has been our home yoga practice live today, working in the basics, fundamentals, carrying along the theme that we've been working on all week with saucha, or purity, or cleanliness, or eliminating. If you are curious about creating a practice plan, maybe check out our blog on justbeyoga.com. About week 4 we're on now, so you might have to go back a few blogs if you want to start and look at what I mean by a practice plan. We're going to end with an Om, and thinking of that in terms of a cleansing process, right? Where we're inviting that vibration in the back of the throat to kind of clear the throat, working the diaphragm, expelling air or carbon dioxide, right? That's a toxin we're releasing out. I love to think about breath in terms of exchange with our atmosphere, recognizing that we are mutually reliant. There's outside stuff that's reliant on us, and there's inside stuff in us that needs the outside. So how do we collaborate? That yoking, remember, yoga means connection, so it's always there. All right, so rooting down to the sit bones, sitting however you want. Maybe go get in a chair. Lifting up through the chest, shoulders down. Relax the diaphragm. No bandhas, right? Bandhas are directing and conducting, and right now we just want to let the breath down into the abdomen. Open the channels. Nostril breathing. Now in one single Om, A-U-M, Aum, sound for the sake of sound. Maybe looking at what is the source of sound within us. Get out of a physiological sense. Where's that sound? What is hearing? What is actually hearing that sound? What is that sound coming from? Where is it going as a sound wave of energy? All right, nice deep breath, abdominal breath. Now, Bandha. Hands to the heart center. Take a moment and maybe reflect on the practice that you've had today. What got awakened that you're walking away going, oh, wow, all right, I noticed something. Notice something about how I carry myself. Notice something about my mental tendencies. Notice something about my capacity. Notice something about my likes and dislikes. All that is love and light in me recognizes and salutes the love and light that is within you. And that, my friends, is namaste. Namaste. I'm deeply honored to be able to share practice with you. Once again, I'm Belinda, or B, from Just Be Yoga, and we're here with Home Yoga Practice Live. We've been a donation-based community yoga outreach for 10 years here in the Lansing, Michigan area. Please feel free, if you have it in your will or in your pocket, to drop a donation into our till. We truly appreciate it. Maybe we'll check you out this weekend. Yoga Basics tomorrow, 10 a.m., Power at 11:30 a.m., and our Chakra Yoga Flow on Sunday at 10:30 in the morning. Namaste. Hey, Joanna.